morning, just as the trees are getting their first new green sprouts, the shad are here on these tidal rivers. We get the shad run, the herring, and with it the striped bass, and I'm hoping today the blue catfish. That's why they're here. Lots of food here for big predators. All right. Oh, that was a good jump. Oh, yeah. All right. Well, I could sit here all day and have fun catching these. I think I'm gonna move on and go after the catfish. There's probably, I don't know, 20 boats right out here in front of Fletcher's that I can see. They're all catching. All right, let's go find some cat. We got some osprey downstream here fighting over a spot. Shad jumping out in the middle, and I'm hoping some catfish right here in this eddy. This is certainly a case of me getting back to my roots. I grew up fishing the upper Potomac mostly for channel catfish, not these blue cats that get so huge here. And I used a lot of chicken liver as bait. But I'm trying something different, something I heard about from a friend. It makes sense. Chicken breast certainly stays on the hook a little bit better than the chicken liver that I used to use. That's not an osprey, that's a bald eagle. Oh, there's two of them. All right, so here's my catfish rig. This is a St. Croix 8-foot medium heavy power fast action, rated up to 2 ounces. I think I got 2 half-ounce or 2 1.5-ounce weights. They're the walking sinkers that don't snag up as much in these rocks as, say, an egg sinker or something like that. I'm using this is an 8/0 black nickel hook. Certainly you could live line fish this way, and that's a good option as opposed to other traditional style hooks, because it always gets them right here in the corner of the mouth and not down the gut. If it's food, if it's not a lure, they will tend to eat the bait, and then you pretty much have to you kill them that way. But I want to catch and release today, so circle hooks are a good option for that. So I will slice up this chicken breast, stick it out there in this eddy, see who's home. Even looks like a fish. My line started moving, I better check it. Had been, yeah, someone's been chewing on it. I had been casting for the shad again while I had this out, but I think that's a mistake. I have it in the rod holder. Someone's down there. Yeah, I definitely just missed my first hit. Here comes another one here, reeling in, and you want to really just sweep with it. There we go. You don't want to yank it real hard or set it like you would a jig. I got him right in the corner. Come here, catfish. Let's see if he's a channel or a blue. I think that is yeah, I got a channel cat. I can already hear him growling at me. Growling. Oh, maybe not. That is a blue. Oh. That's a first one. Yeah, it's a blue. Nice little blue catty. Rock. Did you eat my chicken? You ate the chicken. I should eat you for eating my chicken. Right in the corner of the mouth. Nice sweep set. Alright, back you go. There are much bigger ones than you in here. So back to what I was saying about having lost that first one. I had it in the rod holder, and I remember it made me think back to something that I know I learned at one point and forgot, because it's been many years since I've really actively targeted catfish, and that is when you're a bank fisherman, you get that Y stick you stick your rod on. I never liked those. I always lost fish when I used them. I always like to have it in my hand, and apparently I've forgotten that, just relearned that lesson. Here comes. Ready, set. Oh, missed him. Maybe I yanked it too fast. Ah, he got the bait too. Now, even though the walking weight is an excellent weight in terms of not snagging on the bottom, you are going to snag them. It's just inevitable. It's just that this one snags a little bit less. In order to make these expendable, so where if I do break them off, it's not a big deal. I don't have to go out and buy more. I just got the mold, the Do It mold, and you know, if I lose a bunch in a day because I'm fishing a particularly rocky, snaggy area, no big deal. Just go home and pour some more. See if I can paddle over and get this one out. Catfish and stuck it in the pole. Didn't really pay attention to it. Oh wow, I think I just lost a beast. It bent over. I can't tell you how many different ways. And I lost him. He broke off. I can't believe I just had a fish break off. Wow. Huge blue catfish. And I missed him. That happened all at once. Time to re-rig. So I looked at where it broke off, and I'm retying, and I think what happens is that the knot sometimes slides around where the metal loops back into the shank, and it just pinches right there. So we got to keep the knot right up top. Though. Hello, blue cat. Oh, yes. How are you, Blue? Where's your big sister? Yeah. Looking critter. And they grow to be, I don't know, 60, 70, 80 pounds. That one's just a baby. See you later, baby. So you're probably wondering, with all this free bait swimming around, why in the world would I go to the store and buy good boneless, skinless chicken breast to go catfishing with? Well, part of the reason is that the regulations are such that you can't use these fish you can't keep them. They're not they're protected. I think the gizzard shad, if you were to get some of those, you could use those. And I think you pretty much have to snag those to get them. The hickories, I think everyone knows the Americans are protected, but I think recently the hickory shad as well were protected here in Maryland and in DC. So just you know, abiding by the law, the regulations. Certainly there's a lot of them around. You would think, you know, using a couple for bait wouldn't be a big deal, but there's a reason they're protecting them, so you know, I can certainly honor that. So I've hit a bunch of spots on the bank, and you know, with the exception of that first one, they just weren't all that productive. And this is a spot out in the middle of the river that you know, I got one bite right away, missed that big one, and now I'm starting to get a bunch of little ones here. So it seems like it's on the edge of a drop off. There's a big area that's probably, I don't know, 15, 16 feet over here, real calm water. We got swift moving current right over here to my left, and it's much deeper. I can tell if I cast out there, it just goes down and down and down. So I'm right actually on a drop off behind a big island right here. So have to remember this spot and this type of spot in the future. And I'm fishing just straight down. I'm probably in 23 feet or so. Hello, spinner. You've slammed up my line. Yeah, take your boogers back. Don't fling them boogers at me. Ah. Look, catfish boogies. Ah. All right, starting to get a little traction here with them. Yeah, been my first time really spending all day trying to get these suckers, and you know, I know there's monsters out here. My understanding is that they hang out in similar sizes. If you get this size, you're on top of a bunch more of them this size. So I don't know. I think I might have to try this again sometime soon. Hopefully get on top of a school of really big ones. I did have that one that pulled harder than any channel cat I've ever had pull. Really doubled this heavy duty rod over, just complete circle. Couldn't do anything with it. Really bummed that it broke off. So, you know, I got a score to settle. I'll be back and get a much bigger one of these next time. Thanks for playing. Yeah, you're welcome. I couldn't resist. A few more casts for these awesome shad. Awesome. So it was great to get back to catfishing after not having done it for, I don't know, probably 16 or 17 years. And I definitely have a respect for the big blue cats that are down there on the Tidal Potomac. Caught a couple little ones. I think it probably caught half a dozen little ones. And even the little ones are a lot of fun to catch, but I really hooked into, or something took off with my bait and doubled over a really heavy duty rod. I couldn't even lift that up out of the rod holder. Before I even turned the camera on to film it, I was struggling and I couldn't do it. He was pulling down so hard I couldn't lift the rod out of the rod holder. And that fish eventually broke off, and after inspecting the knot, I think I've learned a really important lesson about terminal tackle in fishing for these big tidal blue cats. So let's take a look at the diagram. Here's the blue catfish cut bait rig. You got 50-pound braid, goes through a walking sinker, and I actually had two of the 1.5 ounce walking sinkers there. Big brass swivel there, about 18 inches of more of that braid going down to an 8/0 black nickel circle hook. And you can put chicken. You can't use the gizzard shad, you can't use the hickories or the American, and you can use any other cut bait. that you can come across. I'm pretty sure they would eat just about anything. So here's the knot, and I just had a Palomar knot on there. But I think what happened, look at this magnified view. You want your knot to always rest up here, and I think what had happened, it's the only way that I can really make sense of it, the way that I got the entire knot back, and you know, the braid above it wasn't broken, but it was sliced right there. I think that knot had slid down to this point right here, where when they make the hook, they bend it over, and you have that end of the cylinder touching the side of the shank here. It's probably the cutting surface that with that huge catfish on the line. You know, that's how that line cut. So I've had similar experiences with big largemouth, losing big largemouth throwing swim baits, and I've learned how to, you know, put a dab of crazy glue on knots. When you start to get into these bigger fish, and certainly these blue catfish are going to test any equipment, I think I've learned a pretty important lesson, and I'm ready to get back out on there and hopefully start getting into these 50 and 60 pounders.